Hello everybody, welcome back to Hike. My name is Pranjal Jain and today we are going to solve the question Pascal's triangle 2. So listen to the whole video, watch the whole video very carefully. We're going to try to explain to you how to solve this question optimally, and then we are also going to code this. So let's get started. Pascal's triangle 2, given an integer row index. Return the row indexed, zero indexed row of Pascal's triangle. In Pascal's triangle, each number is the sum of two numbers directly above it. Okay? So I'll just explain to you how Pascal triangle is made. So basically, this is how a Pascal triangle looks. The first row contains a 1. Subsequently, every row contains a 1 at the beginning and at the end. So the second row has just two ones. Now let us study how the third row is made. So every row has a number of columns equal to row number. So the first row has one column, the second row has two columns, the third row has three columns. And as I have already told you, the first and the last number are going to be 1. How are other numbers created? Well, they are sum of two numbers, the one above it and the one diagonally behind it. So 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So this is the third row. Let us look at the fourth row now. The starting and last number is going to be 1. Then sum of these two numbers is equal to 2 plus 1, that is 3. Then sum of these two numbers is again 3. So this is our fourth row. And this is how you create uh, all the rows in the Pascal triangle. So to create a particular row, let us take an example of this fourth row. To create this row, we only require the row right above it. So we don't have to store all the rows to create a particular row, right? But we have to create the rows one by one. Why? Because to create the fourth row, we need the third row. To create the third row, we need the second row. And to create the second row, we need the first row. But we don't have to keep all of them stored in the memory. We can only keep one of the rows, the previous row, to create the next row. That's it. And that is exactly what we are going to do. That is exactly the optimization that we are going to apply. We are only going to store two rows at a time. The row that we require to make the next row and the row that we are currently creating. Let us have a look at how we can solve this question. So the rows are zero index, which means the first row is called the zeroth row. The second row is called the first row. Okay. So initially what we are going to do is we're going to take a vector. This is the current row. And we are going to take another vector. This is the previous row. Okay. Now in the previous row, we are going to enter a 1. And if row index is equal to 0, then we simply return this previous row that we have created. Otherwise, you will run the for loop to create the next row. For int I equal to 1, because we have already created the 0th row. I less than equal to row index and I plus plus. So every time, what do we have to do? We have to use the previous row to create the next row or the current row. So first of all, we will clear the current row. Now using the previous row, we are going to enter numbers into the current row. As I already told you, the first and the last number of the current row is always 1. So let's put the two ones at either ends. So this is the starting one. And this is the ending one. Let us now put the numbers in between these two ones. So we are going to iterate the previous row from index 1. And in the current row, we are going to push back the sum of previous row of j minus 1 plus previous row of j. The sum of these two numbers is going to be pushed into the current. So we have created the current. Now, before we move on to the next row, to creating the next row, now this current row will become the previous row, right, for the next row. So we'll clear the previous row. And we'll copy the current row into the previous row. At the end, we can simply return the current row. Let us now try to run this. So you can see all the visible test cases have passed. Let us try to submit this now. So you can see all the test cases have passed and our solution have been accepted. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you understood everything that I was trying to explain. If there is any doubt whatsoever, please feel free to comment it in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to answer any doubts that you have. If you like the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next video.